Still in the studio with me, the Teej, sipping on some tea, trying to stay awake and soaking in my jeans. How are you doing? That was... Let's see. I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. I was going to say Portugal the Man. No, that was Modest Mouse with Doing the Cockroach off of their album Lonesome Crowded West, released in 1997. And let's just take a guess here. Was that track number 6 Terry? I need an answer, man. Come on. Come on. It was track number 6. What's up with that? I'm back on my game, finally. It means absolutely nothing to the rest of the world, but it actually meant something to me right then and there. Oh boy, you know the caffeine's coursing through me now at least. I'm starting to feel that warm sensation, that sort of thing right there. I'm ready to do some dancing in a bit later, but in the meantime, we have to talk about another couple of strange things going on around here, to be specific. And one had to do with the fact that while me and Terry were in the studio earlier today, we were having some weird difficulties. Now, as you may or may not know, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. I believe in the possibility that there are ghosts, but I have no empirical data to really compare and confirm that there are ghosts. And that being said right there, I was wondering what was going on in the studio today, because there's some stuff that was acting up. And Terry, if you could answer, would agree with me here, because even he would... You can't really ignore that, man. It's not possible. So we're recording in the studio, and everything's going fine. I mean, you know, except for the normal problems when you're recording in here, because it's always a different setup each time you come in. And someone's moved this there, someone's attached this to that, and it's like, why is this even a thing? I don't know. Fix it up in a couple of moments, and boom, you're ready to record. Except when we were playing back some of our recordings, we were getting this horrible static, like, periodically throughout our tracks, and it was really strange, because you couldn't hear it while we were recording. It was only upon reflection that you'd get this, and I tried triggering it at one point, and it wasn't happening. It was independent. It was spontaneous. Could it be sentient? I hardly know, but, you know, it does bring up some good questions, I figure. Terry's just shaking his head. I know he doesn't believe in this stuff either, but, I mean, it's one of those things where I like to at least speculate, especially in the wee hours, and sort of ponder on these surreal notions that might be contained within these anomalies. Certainly. I mean, what else to do in these sort of short and bizarre times? I just try to get myself entertained by that at the very least. Oh boy, but even stranger, I want to share this with you, but I need you to keep it on the DL, because I'm a little bit frightened by this, and I'll tell you why, because I think someone just sent me a message. I don't know what that message was particularly, but it has to be something significant. I mean, no one would actually go out of their way to do this, and it'd just be this harmless gesture. Alright, so, when was it? Was it Saturday? I believe it was over the weekend where I just woke up, it was a normal day, that sort of thing right there, and I, stepped outside of my house, like, ready to, you know, start the day, ready to get the things going, ready to get some work done, and before I know it, there's a parcel at my feet. It's not wrapped or anything, I mean, it's got cling film on it still, but, again, I don't know what it means. It was a copy of the Eat, Pray, Love original motion soundtrack CD, Deluxe edition. Alright? That's weird, right? I mean, it was mint in box, just lying about right there. Now, two things about that. One, what a shitty book. I can't imagine that passes off as literature to some people. Like, oh my god, this self-absorbed woman is privileged enough to go ahead and try to find herself on this expensive world tour of all these different countries, and oh my god, I just can't read that trollop. But beyond that, we're talking about the fact that someone thought that would make an interesting movie starring Julia Roberts. Now, I will admit, I used to be a fan of Julia Roberts, like, back in the 90s, but, I mean, everyone was kind of on her side now. But, I mean, that just sounds like a really terrible film that I couldn't possibly endure. But for some reason, I have a copy of the soundtrack. Or so I thought. Now, as this was a bizarre occurrence, and I didn't really know how to explain it, I was very hesitant to let that CD in the house. I mean, it would just conflict with all the other CDs there, and then it'd just be a fight, or someone would mistake it for mine. Whew, I did not want to be in charge of that, so I left it on the stoop. But then I went downstairs and around the corner to my car, and guess what? There was another copy left on my windshield. I'm 100% serious here. There were 2 copies of the Eat, Pray, Love original motion soundtrack deluxe edition hanging out on my property. Mint in box, completely wrapped. They looked fine, except one had been rained upon a little bit. I'm talking about the one on my car right there. But what does this mean? Why is somebody handing me these? Obviously, they didn't expect me to enjoy it. Like, my God, the track list was a whole bunch of Eddie Vedder and Neil Young tracks, and no thank you, okay? I draw a line somewhere. But, I refuse to really look at this as a mistake. Someone has been trying to indicate to me something. I really don't know the message, but it's through this medium of giving me unbelievably shitty CDs. Now, maybe this is what they wanted, though. Maybe they handed me these CDs to make a bit of a ruckus about it, to get people afraid. Maybe you wake up tomorrow and there will be a copy of Eat, Pray, Love, the original motion soundtrack deluxe edition on your stoop. And what will that mean for you? Who is doing this? Who is this awkward and disturbing force that is interrupting our flow of getting halfway decent music? You know? I was expecting, actually, a parcel in the mail containing an awesome CD, but instead, in its place was the Eat, Pray, Love original motion soundtrack deluxe edition CD. If that's the case, maybe it's replacing all of the music out there in the world, and consequently, if we ever receive a CD in the mail, it'll be replaced with the Eat, Pray, Love original motion soundtrack deluxe edition CD. No! Oh, Terry, I think we found a conspiracy theory right here. This is not looking good, man. We're gonna have to dig deep into this. How far does this go? Does it go straight to the postal service? To the government? What is going on here? I'm deeply, deeply worried about that. We need to call a force of individuals. We need to call upon a group. We need to call upon a team that we can rely upon. We need people on our side to combat this treachery, which is the Eat, Pray, Love original motion soundtrack deluxe edition CD. And if any of you out there are conflicted with this troubling fact of a matter, this bizarre and frightening message, please contact me on the Teej page. That's TEEJ on Facebook. And let us chat, let us collude, let us find a way to strike back at this tyranny. But until then, how about a song?